This is the darkest Kai has ever been, and it's canon. Ninjago Legends Monstrosity just dropped, and today we're breaking down episode 1 in full detail. This is part 1 of a 3-part deep dive focused on the story, the themes, and Kai's brutal character arc. If you're as obsessed with Kai's character development as I am, hit that subscribe button because parts 2 and 3 are coming soon, and I guarantee you don't want to miss them. Alright, so Ninjago Legends Monstrosity drops Kai into the brutal land of monsters. Remember, this is canon, guys. It happens after the merge, but before he meets up with Lloyd again in Dragon's Rising. The series has this really unique, gritty, 2D animated vibe, which is totally different from the main show. It brings back memories of that Golden Legend short we got for Ninjago's 10th anniversary, and I must say this black and white style does a great job at selling the hopelessness Kai must be feeling. The episode instantly drops us into the action, showing us Kai in a world that clearly doesn't belong to him. His narration in the background, saying that he never knew what alone truly meant until he was stranded in the land of monsters, is so true. He's never actually been alone. Even before he joined the other ninja, he had his sister, but not in this scene. He's exhausted, surrounded by monsters, and completely lost. Crying in a way we've never seen from Kai before, and in all this darkness, the only thing that shines through is his red headband, which we'll talk about momentarily. There's more to it than you think. So, from the start, the story is clearly following Kai's internal struggles. It shows us a new version of Kai. Yeah, Kai's really going through it in this series. He's alone, confused, and not even sure what he's up against. We also have what could be considered a direct callback to Golden Legend with those shipwrecks in the background. It's probably not the same location because Golden Legend takes place in Ninjago and isn't considered canon. We don't know if this coincidence was planned or not, but I just wanted to point that out. Moving on. After the title card, we see a montage of Kai avoiding different monsters, which I'll talk about in a different video, but I do want to mention this shot, because I find it very interesting. Not because of that monster, the cat dragon as I like to call it, but because it's a city. That means that the land of monsters is inhabited by people. Probably not humans. If I had to guess, I'd say hybrids, like the people from the wilderness or the Dragonians from the first realm. I don't know, but someone obviously had to build that city. Anyway, after the montage, the actual plot kicks in as Kai sees Daiden, the guardian dragon, who's fighting a huge monster. Before he jumps on the dragon's back, Kai takes out his headband, looks at it, and says, "Why can't I mind my own business?" Now in this case, the headband represents him being a ninja and having the moral obligation to get involved in saving the giant monster's egg. Which, to be honest, doesn't look like an egg, but hey, who am I to judge someone else's eggs, right? But stick around, cause we're still not done with the headband. So, after initially saving the egg, Kai asks the guardian dragon what's going on, and she explains how the monster ate her baby and she wants to make it feel what she felt while destroying the monster's egg. She then resumes her attack on the egg as Kai tells her to look at herself and what she is becoming. A creature consumed by a desire for revenge. And I gotta say, the soundtrack in this part, wow, it's one of my absolute favorites. It gives a kind of hopeful tension, you know? The dragon then leaves the egg alone and saves Kai from being squashed under the monster's claw. Then we get to the last shots of the episode, where Daiden tells Kai that she should have left him to die. It's always good to see Ninjago use the word die, because it shows that they're slowly losing that filter many shows directed to kids have. And then we see Kai's maturity, telling the dragon that if she thinks sparing children is a weakness, she has no idea what true strength is. Now, as we know, dragons have a longer lifespan than humans, so Daiden could easily be hundreds of years old, and yet here we see Kai, the quote-unquote hot-headed ninja, teaching her a lesson. Then we get to the famous line from the trailer said by Daiden, "It's impossible to survive in the land of monsters without becoming a monster yourself." She then leaves, and we get to the headband's next meaning, Kai's humanity. Because as he says that he hopes she's wrong, he holds it in his hand. The red headband, symbolizing his elemental power, him being a ninja, and his humanity, which he has to hold close if he doesn't want to lose who he is in this crazy new land. And that wraps up episode 1 of Monstrosity. In the next part, we'll break down how this story develops, so if you want to see more deep dives into Ninjago Legends, make sure to subscribe and to turn on notifications. See you in the next one.